Good morning, everybody. It's Brett, your Thankful Carnivore. It's May the 4th, Monday morning, and this is today's Thankful Carnivore Report. I appreciate you taking time out of your day to listen to me ramble about things related to the carnivore way of eating and other issues I find interesting. Please check me out across all my social media at thankful.carnivore, on Twitter where those meat-eating savages still run wild at Stickman Bleeding. That's STICKMANBLEEDIN. Don't add a G. Facebook, YouTube, Thankful Carnivore. Don't forget, you can get a 30-minute carnivore coaching session from meatrx.com for under $20. That's right, a 30-minute carnivore coaching session at meatrx.com for under $20. Check it out, my friends. I want to talk to you all today about carnivore puppy life. And as many of you all might be aware of, and as all of you listening to this will now be aware of, we got a puppy a week ago. He's now 9 weeks old. He's an American Bully puppy. A breed I was completely unfamiliar with till just a couple of days before we secured this animal. And it's been a pretty interesting change in our routine and our lifestyle to a degree. Because, I mean, this is a major adjustment. You just don't bring a puppy in and just let him run wild. His name is Baron. His full name is Lord Baron of Eve. But we call him Baron. And we have an enormous amount of fun with him. But it's been a major adjustment with this puppy. It's not quite as significant as bringing home a human infant, but because a human infant can't go walking. You can't put a human infant on a leash right when you bring him home. But you do have to supervise this puppy every waking moment that he's not secured. Because, especially in our home, I can't let him in my studio room, the room I'm now sitting in, without me in here. And I really don't want him in here at all until he's learned the value of the word no to a greater degree. Because there's a lot of cabling in here, a lot of expensive guitar cabling and mic cabling, and puppies love to chew stuff up. And I cannot afford to replace one piece of this equipment in here. It costs too much money. And my point is that takes time, that takes energy to supervise an animal and to train it, to exercise it. That's another big thing, you know. The biggest initial goals, the first week goals, and we've accomplished these or I should say Baron's accomplished them, was number one, getting him trained to the cage. Now, I don't call that a crate because it's not a crate. It's a bloody damn cage. I'm not going to call a cage a crate just to soothe and keep from triggering people. It's ridiculous. That's some of that bastardization of language I refuse to participate in. It looks like a cage, it locks like a cage, cause it's a cage. It's not a crate. Anyway, training him to the cage, teaching him his name. Big thing. Teaching an animal its name, because I wanted Baron to know when I said his name, I'm talking to him specifically. And, you know, rewarding him when he responds to his name, things like that, very important, because you don't want your dog to hear his name and have him crap on the floor because he's afraid. Oh God, I've done something wrong. No, we've not done that. And then the other big thing is teaching him to walk on a leash, which he has taken to very, very well. He and I have already walked a mile this morning on the leash. And later today, after he's had his lunch and after some meetings have been completed, he and I will take another mile walk. And then this evening, he won't go a mile quite yet, but he'll go a good distance. He'll go about 4 blocks. He'll go a little over a quarter of a mile. But it's so important because I want him to be my companion when I take my walks. And as I age, I'm 59 now, and I'm not decrepit, but I'm getting older. And, when I'm 50, 68, 69, and I'm taking these walks, having a robust companion there to protect me if the need should arise will be of great comfort. But for now, we're just focusing on the basics. He's taken to the cage very well. Teaching him his name has been hilarious because I hadn't thought of it, but I've had many dogs whose name starts with the letter B. There's been Boo Boo. These are cats and dogs over the years. Boo Boo, Blackie, of course. We had a dog named Bandit. So I sometimes me spitting the right name out has been a challenge. Plus, he has these patches over his eyes that to me looks like a mask. You could call him Bandit. My wife, Carnivore Art Life, she's like, nah, it doesn't look like a mask. He looks like Baron. Okay, he's Baron. But we've really had a good time working with the dog on these points. And we're going to reinforce those points this week. And this week, we're also going to start working on teaching him how to sit. And then next week, oh, dare I try it, we're going to try to learn a little bit about heel, the heel command while we're walking. But it takes energy, it takes time, it takes commitment. You can't half-ass it. It's kind of like the carnivore way of eating in many ways. You can't just kind of do this and expect the results. You can't be inconsistent with a puppy in their training and get good results. And of course, if people have seen the things I'm doing, and I talk about it with pictures and whatnot and on Facebook, and I've had people, oh, you can't walk a dog that much, it's bad for them. If it's bad for the dog, he'll let me know. He'll whine, he'll cry, his tail won't be up, wagging at 100 miles an hour, and he won't be enjoying himself. That's how I know I shouldn't walk him anymore. A neighbor absolutely freaked out when I told him we were just feeding him meat, and soon we would be feeding him raw meat. Well, what do you want to do that for? Why would you do that? Well, because they're carnivores. It's how they're designed to eat. It's good for them. Well, when you get ready to put them on real food again, you put them on this type here and this type here. I just smiled. This dog is going to eat meat his whole life, barring some sort of unforeseen disaster or calamity. And then somebody else suggested that we let him sleep in the bed with us at night, and that's just not that. No, especially since he came to us with fleas. No, not putting a flea-bitten animal into the bed. But you know what? It's all been worth it. I have had so much fun with this pup. I have laughed myself silly. My awesome wife has laughed herself silly too. And there's puppies are full of joy. When those tails are wagging so fast and they're so happy to see you, and they're so happy that you're about to feed them or you're playing with them, that's contagious. And as many of you all know from my past discussions, I'm a huge believer that joy perpetuates more joy. And the joy of life is so precious. When we see it in each other, and when we see it in our animals, when we see it in nature, always be ready to accept the joy of life, into your existence. My friends, I hope you have a fantastic day. Keep doing all the things you know you need to do to take care of you. Eat your meat, drink your water. Never, ever, ever forget you've got something to be thankful for. We'll see you all tomorrow. Take care.